Hey everyone, today we are going to study about the procedures and powers of the disciplinary committee of the State Bar Council in the case of misconduct by the advocates. This question always comes into the ethics that is very helpful for the students who are studying in the LLB course. So let's see what is the procedures and powers of the disciplinary committee to stop the advocates to do a misconduct. The disciplinary committee of the State Bar Council has the authority to take several actions if an advocate is found guilty of misconduct. Now let's see the procedures. First one is the dismiss the complaint. If the committee finds no merit in the complaint, it can dismiss it. Second one is the reprimand. The committee can officially warn or scold the advocate. Third one is to suspend the advocate. The committee can prevent the advocate from participating in law for a certain period. Fourth one is remove the state role. The committee can permanently disbar the advocate, removing their name from the official list of practicing advocates in the states. A disciplinary committee is a group of people with the authority to handle cases involving an advocate's professional misconduct. They can act based on a complaint, their own decision, or a review. The purpose of this committee is to ensure that lawyers maintain professional ethics and standards. According to Section 9 of the Advocates Act, State Bar Council can create one or more disciplinary committees. Each committee has 3 members. 2 members are chosen from the Bar Council. 1 member is an advocate with over 10 years of experience. The most experienced members serve as a chairman of the committee. Now let's discuss the powers of the disciplinary committee. Section 42 of the Advocates Act says the disciplinary committee of the State Bar Council has powers similar to those of civil courts, specifically in these areas. First one is the summoning people. They can call people, attend and give evidence under oath. Second, document discovery. They can request the discovery and production of documents. Third one is the affidavits. They can receive evidence provided in the form of affidavits. Fourth one is the public records. They can request public records or copies of records from any court or office. Fifth one is the examination commission. They can issue orders to examine witnesses or documents. Now let's discuss the restrictions on attendance. The committee cannot require the attendance of presiding officers of courts. These individuals can only be summoned with the permission of the High Court. Second one is the officers of revenue courts. These individuals can only be summoned with the permission of the state government. If we see in the context of judicial proceedings, all proceedings before the disciplinary committee are considered judicial proceedings. This means they are covered under section 193 as the false evidence and 228 intentional insult or interruptions of the Indian Penal Code IPC. The disciplinary committee is considered a civil court. Now let's see the inquiry procedure. The main role of the disciplinary committee is to investigate complaints of professional misconduct against advocates and to impose appropriate penalties. Now let's see the punishment procedures for inquiry. Section 35 of the Advocates Act. When a complaint about an advocate's professional misconduct is received, the following steps are taken. First one is the initial review. The Bar Council reviews the complaint. If they believe it warrants an inquiry, they refer to it the disciplinary committee. Second one is setting a date. The disciplinary committee sets a date for the inquiry and sends a notice to the advocate involved and the Advocate General of the state. Third one is the attendance. The advocate accused of misconduct must appear in person or through the lawyer. The Advocate General can also appear in person or through a lawyer. Fourth one is the time frame. The inquiry should be completed within the year from the complaint received. If not completed within this time, the complaint is sent to the Bar Council of India. Fifth one is the continuity. If the term of the current disciplinary committee ends during the inquiry, the new committee takes over and continues the process. Sixth one is the decision making. If the disciplinary committee cannot reach a decision due to a lack of majority opinion or other reasons, they seek the opinion of the Bar Council's chairman and then make a final decision based on his opinion. Now let's discuss some case laws. First one is the Allahabad Bank versus Girish Prasad Verma, BCI TR, case number 49, 1993. Now let's see the facts of this case. Allahabad Bank hired advocate Girish Verma to file 52 lawsuits. The bank paid him the necessary court fees for all 52 suits. Girish Verma filed only 50 suits and kept the court fees for the remaining 2 suits for himself. Court held that the Uttar Pradesh Bar Council's disciplinary committee found Girish Verma guilty of misusing the court fees. They decided to remove his name from the list of practicing lawyers in Uttar Pradesh. They emphasized that being a lawyer is a noble profession and lawyers should behave in an exemplary manner. Second case is the VC Rangadurai versus D. Gopalan, 1979, SCR 1054. Facts of this case is the advocate VC Rangadurai did not inform his client about a conflict of interest, thus deceiving the client who trusted him. The disciplinary committee found him guilty of misconduct and suspended him from practicing law for 6 years. Rangadurai challenged this decision in the Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court held that the Supreme Court agreed that Rangadurai was guilty of misconduct. However, they reduced his suspension from 6 years to 1 year. Now let's conclude. Our answer is that advocates are very important in the judicial system because people trust them completely. It is crucial for advocates to do their jobs correctly and efficiently. As members of the legal profession and officers of the court, Advocates must maintain high standards and respect the dignity of their role. Any misconduct by an advocate is not acceptable because it damages people's trust in the judicial system. To prevent and punish such behavior, a disciplinary committee is set up with the power to handle cases of fraud, misconduct, and cheating by advocates against their clients. This all explanation about the procedures and powers of the disciplinary committee, their client. So this all about our explanation. How much did you understood from this lecture? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for today. We'll meet in next video. Till then, keep learning.